Hi everyone. Um, this is not one of my typical episodes, but I wanted to do it anyways because I know I'm not the only one struggling to live amongst this nastiness in America. Like this grossness. This morning I was spiraling a little bit. And I try not to do that. I'm usually like aware of it like at the beginning and then do like distract myself or like sometimes I use grounding for like a coping mechanism like I don't know sometimes my brain just won't let up with some stuff and so I just kept going around and around in my mind about how like humans are suffering. There's no need for any of this to happen. Why is this happening? I know it's not just this country. I know it happens in other countries, but like why? What is the point of this? Um, and so like I pulled out my journal and for whatever reason, I got it into my mind that I wanted to do a list about what I feel evil is. Um, I know some people flinch at the word evil. They think it's like too dramatic, too heavy, but what else do you call a system that feeds on fear and that re rewards cruelty and treats human lives like fucking price tags? Um, this to me is evil, and I'm not using the word to be like edgy or some other dumb shit. I'm just using it because for me it seems to be the most fitting is this is evil. Like when the damage is real and the intent is clear, like you call it what it is. And evil isn't just murder. It's also indifference. It's also the power to help and then choosing not to. And so, um, I've just felt the need to make a list about what I feel evil is and then follow it up with a list about what resistance looks like. Resistance, like from what I've learned over the years for, like what you're supposed to do when there's something going on that shouldn't be going on. And it made me feel a little bit better, like writing these lists. Like, I don't know, I write a lot of lists, but this is what I wrote in my journal earlier because I needed to figure out, like, how do I process this? This doesn't feel good. And, I'm not even like, I'm not, I'm affected, but I am also white, so I'm not that affected, if that makes any sense. This is one of those times where I am embarrassed to be a white person. I am embarrassed to be an American. I am embarrassed to be living in this country. And I don't care how hardcore people are about, like, go America and like, um, people that are like, I love my country so much. I've never felt that way. I was born and raised in Japan. I fucking love that country. I'm only in America because there's only so much you can do in Japan when you're an adult and you can't stay there forever. And, like I joined the military and blah, 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 blah. But like Japan's my home. And I have considered this country my home. I mean, obviously, because I'm living here, but like I've never been pro like, USA. We don't put flags outside of our house. There's nothing wrong with anybody that does. It's just we don't do that. Um, and especially since 2016 when Evil Dick came to the scene, I felt less good about being an American and I wish I was anything except white right now because people are being snatched out of their homes. Fucking human beings are being snatched out of their homes because they're not white. And they're sent outside of this country to prisons for doing fucking nothing except not being white. This is disgusting. Fucking gross. Um, I just feel I just feel disgusted on a regular basis because this is just that it's not supposed to happen. This isn't supposed to be happening. But I guess the universe thinks it should. I don't fucking know. Um So, and I think that there's some truth to this. I've heard about it a few different times. Um, I wish it wasn't true, but like I've heard that there was some dude in this country that had some tattoo about autism on his arm. Um, like his son's autistic or something, and like the excuse that the quote government, which is just the regime, it's just Mary Trump is right, this is a regime. They use the excuse that, oh, it's like affiliated with like gangs or some bullshit. Like, what the fuck? Like, none of us in this country are immune. Like, oh my God, I don't know. Like, I'm sitting here and I'm like, oh, I'm white, and like we have less of a it's like this sounds kind of gross. I know, and I hope you know what I'm trying to say. Like, I'm autistic, so like there's that to worry about. I'm a female. There's that to worry about because rights for women are up for grabs apparently. So like, and I'm a veteran. The VA's been torn apart, so I don't think I can go back to the VA where that's next to me. I don't know. I feel like I can't trust anybody. I feel like, why is it ideal to be a white man? Why is that like what everybody is striving for? What all the white men are striving for and think that the whole country needs to look like is just a bunch of white fucking men. And let's take away rights. I'm part of the community LGBTQ plus IA, whatever it's called. And I know that sounds ignorant, but letters are there's lots of letters in that. I'm part of that fucking community too. And like, you know, they're gonna take away or try to take away the rights of like my right to be married to my fucking wife. I'm so glad I live in New York right now. Like as expensive as it is to live in this state, I would rather live in New York than pretty much any other state in this country. Um, because I know that like, we tend to like fight pretty well for our people, and I'm having a hard time talking. I hope I didn't sound gross with all I just said. I just basically am just like, I'm so sick of this crap. I'm so sick of like people, human beings being treated like garbage because they don't fit the white man standard. Um, because if you look different or you sound different or you are different in any fucking way, we don't want you. Goodbye. Like, talk about going back in time. Like, history is not supposed to repeat itself, but it constantly does. And I never in my life even thought that like I would be surrounded by something like this. I never in my life thought that like I would be afraid to lose like the right to vote or the right to like legally be married. Like this is not stuff I've thought about before, but like I have to. And I don't run my life on fear, but it's just sometimes just I feel this way. And no amount of, it'll get better, this isn't forever, or blah, 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 or there's reasons why this should be happening. Like, none of that is helpful for me sometimes. And it was not helpful for me earlier today. So I pulled out my journal. I wrote down a list about what I feel evil is. I wrote down a list about what I feel like resistance is. And for some reason, I felt a lot better after that. Um, when I'm really like anxious or like spiraling kind of, I like to do lists. I don't think I've said that before. But lists are so comforting to me. Like I have daily to-do lists, but I'm talking about like I just will make a list about anything that has to do with whatever it is that like I'm upset about, and it tends to like make me feel 50% better. Um, so PS, is there anybody else out there that makes lists when they're upset and they find it comforting? Because I found making these two lists comforting. I'm just going to read them. I'm not going to expand upon them, uh, um, the bullet points and stuff. I'm just going to read them and then end the episode, and that's it. Because I have to get this out of my head. And I'm hoping if I get it out of my head, another 20% of me will feel better. because that's what, 50, 60, 70. So I'll only have 30% of feeling what I felt earlier. Does that even make sense? Oh my God. But also, like, I know I'm not the only one that feels this way. Um, so if anybody else does, um, where am I at? Sorry, my mind just went blank. But anyways, did I explain like why I used evil? I really hope I did because I have no idea if I even explained why I'm using that word. Um, my mind is just not with it today, so I'm just going to read the lists. I hope that they're helpful. I would love to know if other people use the word evil to describe what is happening around them, like, in this context. And anyways, I'm just going to read. Okay. So, evil pretends to be the victim while stepping on actual victims. Evil loves chaos, but only the kind it can profit from. Evil speaks in slogans, so it never has to explain anything. Evil hates facts but loves feelings, especially fear and rage. Evil doesn't want you informed, just loyal. Evil's favorite trick is to make cruelty feel like justice. Evil bans books but hands out guns like candy. Evil creates enemies out of school teachers, nurses, librarians, and then calls it protecting children. Evil says freedom, but means freedom for me, not you. Evil wears a flag like a cape and then sells out the country for a fucking tax break. Evil wants power, not solutions. It runs for office to settle scores, not to serve. Evil mocks compassion and markets apathy. Evil gets bored by peace. It feeds on outrage and distraction. Evil uses religion as a prop, but never reads past the angry parts. Evil wants laws to punish the poor and protect the powerful. Evil is allergic to accountability and addicted to applause. Evil doesn't deny reality, it replaces it with something dumber and louder. Evil makes you laugh at things you should cry about. Evil turns politics into entertainment and voters into a fan base. Evil tells you you're losing your country and then sells you a hat to get it back. And for anybody who is like, if you don't know what that means, you don't live in this country, I'm talking about those dumb fucking MAGA hats that can all go burn, burn. Sorry, that was not part of the list. Okay, so, and here's my resistance list. Resistance means caring in public, even when it's easier to shut up. Resistance means staying informed without losing your mind. Resistance means calling out bullshit, not just scrolling past it. Resistance is refusing to laugh along when cruelty is the punchline. Resistance is knowing that empathy isn't weakness, it's defiance. Resistance is showing up to vote, to march, to speak, to help. Resistance is keeping your humanity intact in a system designed to numb you. Resistance is saying, no, this is not normal, even after the 100th time. Resistance means not letting them turn you into them. Resistance is unlearning indifference. Resistance is building community where they want division. Resistance means being louder than their lies, not nastier, just clearer. Resistance is asking better questions when they want easy answers. Resistance is lifting others up when the whole system is built to crush them. Resistance is laughing without mocking, fighting without hating, loving without fear. Resistance means refusing to be entertained by destruction. Resistance is teaching your kids better than what you were handed. Resistance is not giving up on the idea that this country can be better, even when it's exhausting. Resistance isn't glamorous, it's daily, messy, and necessary. Um, so that's what I've got. I'd love to have other things to add to these lists if you care to share them. Um, and now I can say, you don't have to email me. You can just leave me a comment because I guess Spotify allows comments now, and some people listen on Substack. So, feel free to comment with any thoughts or additions or whatever. Um, I actually do feel better that I read that out loud. It's weird. The way my mind works, it's just so fucking weird. Like, why do I feel better because of this? Anyways, I hope this was relatable. I said I would end the episode, so I'm just gonna do that now. Um, okay. Okay, goodbye.